لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاء.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم أخرجنا من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمنا بنور الفهم وافتح علينا بمعرفة العلم وسهل أخلاقنا بالحلم واجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. The final juz 27, and the final ayah, inshallah. Allahu A'lam. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us life and grants us another day of taraweeh or another evening of taraweeh, then we will just begin all over again, inshallah, from juz number 1. But for tonight, I think a way to end, and the ayah that stands out most in this juz to all of us, and particularly to myself, is Ar-Rahman. Allama al-Quran. Khalaqa al-insan. Allamahu al-bayan. I don't think I have enough time to explain all of it. I think I probably only have enough time to explain Ar-Rahman. SubhanAllah, it is a profound word. Not just a word. A name that some of the Mufassirin say describes the Dhat of Allah. Ar-Rahman has been translated as the most merciful. Yes? Most translations. Most gracious maybe as well, but most merciful more often. But the only problem with that is that mercy denotes that there was some sort of punishment and therefore he was merciful. But that is not what Ar-Rahman means. And so it's a little bit misleading. And I've spoken about Ar-Rahman before and its roots and where it comes from. But I will reiterate for those who were not present, and for those who were, it is a good reminder. Ar-Rahman comes from the root letters Rahim, Ra-Ha-Mim, which means the womb. And so this word is either taken from this or it was given to that. Regardless, it's from the same source, Allah Rabbul Izzati wal Jalal. But it gives us a good understanding of what Ar-Rahman actually entails, or rather, an aspect of it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is likening Rahmah to the Rahim, to the womb. And we think about the womb, what does it actually provide? Everything. It looks after what it is supposed to look after from A to Z. Nothing is wanting to that baby or that fetus or that person when he is inside the womb. And that is exactly what Ar-Rahman is. An all-encompassing kindness, generosity, love, and mercy included. But not mercy exclusively, as we understand it as English-speaking people. Now there's a second aspect to it. Ar-Rahman itself is on a scale that is quite unique, in that there are other Arabic words on the same scale as Ar-Rahman, like Ghadban, Atshan, Na'san, Ta'ban, angry, thirsty, sleepy, tired. But it doesn't just mean that, because that would be the same as a normal noun, because it's not a normal noun. It's what's called a hyperbolized, exaggerated noun. And I don't like to use the word exaggerated, because that's not what it is. So when it's in this context, it doesn't just mean angry, it means furious. And it doesn't just mean thirsty, it means if I don't get a drop of water, I'm going to die. Yeah? It doesn't just mean tired, it means I'm dead tired. Starting to get the idea here. But the problem on this scale is that once you give it something, in other words, if you are seriously furious, once you calm down or you give yourself some rest or whatever, then it disappears. Once you feed yourself, it disappears. Once you give yourself a drop of water, it disappears. Once you sleep, that state disappears, correct? So that is a problem on this scale, fu'lan scale. Because then does that mean that Ar-Rahman is transient? That this quality, this essence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is transient? Wa na'udhu billah. So there's a problem there, right? So we understand this Ar-Rahman is all-encompassing, right? And we understand the extent of it is beyond sometimes our imagining. And we understand also that it, like the name Allah, is not just a manifestation of His mercy, but it is part of His essence, like Allah. That's why you never would find that a person would be able to adopt the quality Ar-Rahman. You would say Muhammad is Rahim, but not Ar-Rahman. You see? No person can take it. Because it's strictly for Allah, Rabbul Izzati wal Jalal. So then how do we get by the transient nature of the sigha, of the scale of this word? And herein lies the beauty of the Arabic language. And for some of you, this may be a bit technical, but I thought we've come a long way. So inshallah, let's open this door a little bit. Inside the Arabic word itself, they are the letters Ra and Ha, inside of Rahman. Correct? Everyone with me? Ra, Ha, and Mim. Let's leave the Mim. Just Ra and Ha. Inside of the Arabic language, letters have meaning. I know. Rah has a meaning that transfers to all words in the Arabic language that have these two letters next to each other. And the meaning of Rah itself is expansion. Amazing, huh? So the letters itself in Ar-Rahman, the Ra and the Ha, overcome the transient nature of its sigha, of its scale. In other words, to balance out its weakness with complete and overarching mercy that never ends. Because it's Rah. Amazing, huh? SubhanAllah. Apply it in any word that you know that Rah is in. Does anyone know any Arabic words with Rah in it? Besides Ar-Rahman, something else? Rihla. It's a trip, right? A long trip. You're going on a journey. See, expanse is in there. Anything else? Ra and Ha. Ra and Ha needs to be together in the same order also. Can't be Ha, Ra. Ra, Ha, specifically. Rahim, yes. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name, Rahim, has the mercy and expands in it. But they say that it is Rahim, mercy, that is a manifestation and not a that. And that's why it is in a different sigha, in a different scale. And that's why there's a difference between Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Some of us say Rahman is for us in this world and Rahim is for the believers in the next world. Yeah? It's not incorrect, but it just leaves the door open to that transient misunderstanding of Ar-Rahman. So Rahman never goes away. That mercy is part of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. And that's what I'm trying to relay within this meaning of here, the power within it. Yeah. So, inshallah, I think that's all the time we have. But I hope, inshallah, that these little talks and explanations of the Quran has been fruitful for all of you, inshallah. And if I've said anything that was incorrect, know that that's from me. That is from me. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala huwa al-haq. He is the truth. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to destroy anything that I have said that is incorrect and grant it to be lost in the annals of time and be destroyed completely. And that no one must remember it. But any of the haqq that I have said, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raise it to the highest of levels and grant it to be ingrained in your hearts and minds. And grant us to live it, inshallah, inshallah, ameen. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from us the efforts that we have put in this Ramadan. Though they may be trifling, we ask Allah to perfect it for us. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to raise our efforts to the highest darajah and to accept it and to grant us gifts, because the day of Eid is coming. One of the many names of the day of Eid is we get gifts, the day of gifts. Yes, the angel will come and deliver gifts. May you, inshallah, be recipients of those gifts. Ameen. And Amiruna, is anything that you would like to say in closing? No. Salatul Tasbih at 10:30, inshallah. Like I said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالْخَوَاتِيمِ. Indeed, deeds are judged according to their endings. So end well. End on the highest of notes. End in a way that reflects your entire months. I say your end is like your summary report. The way you end is your report of how well you did in that month. Inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.